Hey there, I'm a visual person, so sometimes talking and seeing it helps me a little bit. So this is this year's course. It's 7403. This is last year's course, 66 217. So two two things that I see are different that maybe contributed to the confusion. Let's look at last year's. So how this functioned, or autumn, how this functioned. And I could have sworn I put this in a video, but I know that, like, I probably sent 17 videos, so it's confusing. But um, because, so last year it was task 3, because we don't know what group they're in until they select their stakeholder group, but we want students to be able to plan and schedule accordingly and know when an assignment is due. We created this sort of all stakeholder group assignment that was due November 18th because that would be due the same day as the individual questions were, or the work would be due once they are assigned to a group. But what happens is they pick their group. This By creating this all stakeholder group assignment, students see that there's work due, they can see what the work is and know that they have a due date. But once they get selected or placed into the groups, what we did in autumn is put them into their individual groups and then unpublish this. And what happened, if I look at our course for spring, people got put into their groups, but that one wasn't unpublished. So when you unpublish it, what happens is then on November 19th, a student logs in and they don't see this, and they see only one of these, the group that they were specifically assigned to. What happened this year is on whatever date that was, on April 17th, students saw 2 assignment task 4s. They saw this one that says all stakeholder groups and whatever one they were assigned to. So that was part of it. This needed to be turned off, and I apologize if that wasn't clear. I apologize if that wasn't clear. So that's probably one of the problems. Okay, and the other thing that was supposed to happen that didn't happen is, remember when, again, this is because it's 66 217, we're looking at last year's. Students knew that there was an assignment that was due the 18th and that they would have to read materials and answer the questions related to their stakeholder group on the whatever day. Let's see, the stakeholder, they had to choose a stakeholder by the 18th. Okay, let's go back. So whatever student, let's see, so let's say a student did task, again, we're looking at last year's course. Let's say a student chose the water department. Then the next time they logged in after they completed task 2 and chose that group, they would not see this. They would see water department. And this assignment was assigned to only those 5 students that selected that stakeholder group, right? So step 1, pick your group. Step 2, on the back side, you
It's
or
12
Dave,
o'clock.
or I guess me, but I could have sworn you're Dave, someone puts those people into their group. This year, that didn't happen. So that's the other part of the problem. So students that completed task 2, so like, let's see if this makes sense. So like, Durite should have been Megan, Casey, Sarah, Michelle, and Anika, and a couple other people. So Durite, this should have been assigned to only those people, and it wasn't. It was assigned to everyone. So that's the other problem. So there were steps involved that didn't happen, and I do apologize if I miscommunicated. I thought I put it on that, like, our sheet of tasks, and I thought I made a video about it, and I'm really sorry if I didn't. So it would have functioned if we would have put them into the groups, if we would have assigned them to their individual assignments. And I know you redid something and you rebuilt it, and maybe that'll work. I actually didn't check that out. Let me look. I see what you did. I think this will work. I'm not sure. Sometimes when you have a weight 0% category in a class that's using weighted grades, the grades end up getting really weird. So I think it'll be okay. Sometimes the calculation turns out odd. I'm not sure. So I'm not really sure about this, to be honest. We might want to, I don't know, unpublish these. I don't know. Maybe take a look when you start to do grading, and if you notice something funky, it's because of this weighted category. Also looking at the step-by-step to-do list, the detailed to-do list, I see that we did actually add students to stakeholder groups. But I didn't put disable that one assignment, although I swear I really think I made a video about this. So it will work as built in Canvas if we would have put the students into the groups and disabled the general assignment. But if you don't want to have to remember that step, then we can think about a different way to do it. I'm not sure how. I mean, yeah, we can definitely think about a different way to do it, but that's what happened.